Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to another very much real live stream on the internet. That's right, this is totally not pre-recorded, this is definitely something that is live that you just happened to miss whenever it was live, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of Far Cry 5. That's right, this is I would say it's an oldish game, but it's like 3 months old game, but today we're going to be playing it because I wanted to talk about a few things, and so because of that, we're going to be going on a little bit of a road trip, and to go on said road trip, I jumped on this guy's car, and that seems to have frozen him in place in some way, you know, because if a guy's standing on your car, you're just not sure what to do, so he's just sitting there like, you know, any moment now I'm gonna use my invisible gear stick and get out of here, and yeah, I'm excited for this stream, hopefully you love you all too, and let's just get in, shall we? So I can commandeer the vehicle, or I can get in the driving seat, and it's kind of fun because, you know, they're two very different options, or for extra fun, I can sabotage the vehicle first, you know, make it a little bit dangerous to get off, and then get in the driving seat, and then see how this one goes. So, long story short, bad things are going to happen very shortly, but let's see how long it takes for that to go down. So yeah, but that's... I'm a bad human being, I know, I'm sorry. I just, you know, I saw the opportunity, there was 3 options, I decided to take option B and option A, and now I guess I'm a bad person. So now I'm going to take a quad bike, and I guess we're going to be going by quad bike for our road trip today, and we'll find whatever vehicle looks good along the way. So anyway, with that said, head on my vehicle to Clickbait. And see, because it's very much a real live stream, I totally didn't have my doorbell ring just now, and I didn't have to go get it. I'm glad we all understand we're on the same page about what's going on today. So, yeah, with that said, let's get on a quad bike, and let's go through the very much same time of day, because this is a live stream, remember? Let's go on a little bit of a road trip, because that's what I like to do from time to time in a video game. It's a good opportunity to, honestly, like, if you just want to relax and chill out on something, go on a road trip. There's usually benefits. You usually find hidden stuff in games, like what's up that mountain? I don't know, probably something good. And the other kind of hidden benefit of doing it is it gives you some time to relax, so you get benefits in the game, you get benefits in terms of like your playtime goes up or whatever if you care about that, and you also get benefits in terms of, ooh, there's a secret mountain path here. See what I mean? I'm going to go up it and go on a little bit of a sidetrack. But yeah, I feel like going on a road trip is a particularly fun thing for a live stream such as this one. And I actually wanted to use this opportunity because every single Tuesday and Thursday I stream, usually on this channel. But because I can't stream, because I'm currently on some form of airplane, I believe. I'm not sure how days work because New Zealand's like 13 hours apart. But because I'm doing something along that sort of line, you know, I can't be doing a normal stream. But I figured I would do a little bit of a Let's Play for Far Cry 5. Because if you don't know, I know not many people know because I don't really promote it. Because it's not really something that I necessarily care about promoting, if I'm being entirely honest. Like, it's something I have a lot of fun doing, but, you know, it doesn't bother me whether people watch or not. But if you would like to watch regardless, I have a Let's Play channel. It's like IVX Let's Plays is the URL. It's really hard to search for, so, like, good luck finding it. This is the worst, like, promo ever. But I do have a full Far Cry 5 Let's Play, as well as a few other Let's Plays that are going to be going up slowly over the next, like, week or so. And if you enjoy seeing Toycat play games, other games, I guess you can call them, then that's something we'll see over there. So just keep that in mind, full Far Cry 5 Let's Play, as well as a couple of other things, over at IBX Toycat Let's Plays, or the channel is officially just called, like, Andrew Andrews on YouTube, because things are terrible. But again, that's what's going on right there. A little bit of a self-promo at the start here. And by the way, hi everyone, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're all doing great. Let's read some comments from this. So first of all, we've got Jefferson6943. By the way, I've decided a seaplane is probably going to be faster. Because, like, I thought this would go somewhere, but it looks like it's just kind of like a dead end. There's a quest over there somewhere, but, like, besides that, this is kind of a nowhere. So instead, we're going to get the seaplane and use that as a hopefully faster transport method than a quad bike. Because the quad bike, it's just not doing it for me. So yeah, Jefferson6943 asks, what did you have for... I'm in the wrong seat. Asked, what did you have for breakfast? And to answer your question, Mr. Jefferson, a little bit ago, before this very real live stream, I actually had some porridge. So one of the things about breakfast you got to keep in mind is I think the most important thing to having a happy breakfast is having choice in your breakfast. I think you either need lots of choice or no choice. Oh, there's something down in the ocean. Okay, let's get out. Let's go. Oh gosh. But ooh, Leviathan bones. But basically, because I feel like choice makes a good breakfast, I think it's really important to have like a lot of breakfast foods. Or maybe if you're the sort of person that just needs like, you know, you have problems eating breakfast, just have one breakfast that you know is kind of good. So because I like a lot of choice, I have a bunch of porridge just lying around, because every now and then you wake up and you're in a porridge mood. Because at least for me, so porridge is called something else, I think, outside the UK. I could be wrong, but I've never heard that term elsewhere. But, you know, like oats, the things that, you know, you eat if you were a farmer or something, that is what I had for breakfast today. And the reason I had it for breakfast today is because I really wanted something crazy sweet for breakfast. And the best thing about porridge is if you eat it by itself, it's kind of like a healthy meal, like, or it's like a good energy meal, I guess. But if you put 3 or 4 teaspoons of sugar on, you get diabetes earlier and probably shortening the lifespan, but you get a delicious dessert breakfast. And again, because I have some ice cream in the freezer, as I was considering eating that for breakfast, but I figured it'd mess me up for my very important live stream later, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah, because we're gonna be doing this for like 45-ish minutes, a little bit longer than a standard IBX Toycat Let's Play, just as a treat for your main channel, guys. Or maybe it's some clever ploy to get self-promotion on the channel that doesn't really have any real monetization going on. Who knows what Toycat's plan is? That's the wild thing about this stream. Also, there's lots of dead people here, which implies to me that there's a mystery going on. Because there's like a map, and there's like, that map looks like it's got some, it's got a bunch of things on it, actually. I could probably use that information. Interesting. I'll come back here sometime if I need any secret map tips. But yeah, basically, to go back to what I was saying. Oh, actually, wait, is there around here a place I can buy a new vehicle? There's a new gun person, but that's about it. So, yeah, basically, let's go back to what I was saying. I feel like having lots of choice in your breakfast is important for a lot of people, especially. So that's a thing that I'm, I have lots of choice, so I'm always going to be excited for some breakfast. And today, my breakfast I was excited for was the breakfast I was excited for was something sweet, something porridgey. And apparently, ice cream for breakfast is the sort of thing that makes people judge you too hard. Like, oh, you're living too crazy in the world. And also, it has the problem where like you have like a serious energy shortage throughout the day. At least that's my take. Like, you feel sick, which is great when it's like 11 p.m. on a Friday and you're gonna sleep soon. But it sucks when it's 8 p.m. on a Tuesday when I live stream and you need to be talking for 45 minutes and hopefully having a good time. Because again, that's why I feel like these live streams are partially about, like, just having a good time, playing some games together. In this case, Far Cry. In other cases, other games. So our road trip, because I'm so high up in the mountains and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, is actually going to take a flying turn right now. And we're going to go for a little bit of a parachute journey alongside the road, just because there's a tunnel over here. Tunnels have vehicles in. That's just a known quantity, right? And yeah, should be a fun little journey. Oh, and there's also wolves near it. That's fun. So to answer the next question from the chat, which comes in from I don't understand how live streams and live streamers work at all. 67, who asks, notice me, you're not reading any of the chat, so I can't. And to answer your question, the reason that I can't necessarily answer all the chat all the time is because there's a lot of it. And I always feel bad that I have to re-explain that one on a frequent basis because, it's this funny thing where, like, I guess sometimes I do this with my friends and it drives me crazy there, but like as a YouTuber, there's constantly new people, there's people that like don't understand basic concepts, and if you don't understand something like that to them, it's like, well, I mean, then they're gonna think that you hate them, and I'd rather, given the choice, people, prefer, if given the choice, I'd prefer people didn't hate me, which I think is actually a bad thing. I think you should probably accept as a person that like some people are gonna hate you for random, unrelated, pretty crazy in some cases reasons, but it's something I have issues necessarily accepting. So I'm like, this is the reason behind your craziness right there. And I think that makes some things better for some people. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Also, this is the worst road trip ever. Like, I've changed vehicle like 6 times. But now we're going on our road trip. We're going to drive by UK rules, which means left side of the road. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful road trip. We might even get like some form of real mission done today. Oh, there's a prepper stash over there. Should I go for it? I think it involves going off the cliff a little bit, which is probably a bad idea. But there's a road down there, and it eventually links back in. So let's go for it. Let's do this. But yeah, to go back to oh gosh, oh man, this is why I don't drive in the UK. But to go back to the previous thing, and like I think it's kind of funny that that's how things work with live streams. So I figured this non-live stream where there's no pressure applied, I can just kind of explain that like I think live stream chat is a great thing to be there as a side thing. I think if the chat ever dominates the stream too much, you actually do get into problems where like you're not making a great stream for anyone but whichever one particular chatter you're responding to at a time. And I think there's a lot more value in creating something that more people can enjoy, whether passively, like this oh gosh, okay, I'm gonna have to just jump and parachute it. But I think there's a lot more value for creating something that more people can enjoy, whether like as a podcast, like I know some of you are doing right now, or just as a fun thing where you can see some video games being played in the probably worst way possible. But there's there's like a real benefit to that, whereas if you're like focusing on one person, It's great from time to time. There's a reason the donation system exists. If you really want that, there's a thing for it, you know, like. But if it's just like I expect everything here to be about me, I think there's a use to learning that's not how things go. But anyway, so yeah, my favorite things to do in open world adventure games, besides just running around and driving, as we're going to be doing more of, by the way. Like, don't worry, that is totally coming back. But my intention is to do these little bit of prepper stashes, because you get a bunch of perk points, which is nice. Probably helps me for some achievement down the line. And also, because they're kind of fun, the little stories. Like, oh, someone got locked out, and they heard noises outside the cabin, had to follow. And it sounds like you got to go north along the trail if you want to find your gear. And it's like, okay, now we know the way in there is to go up the trail. And it's like, there's a guy over there. How scary. But oh, and there's a dog. There's a evil dog. Like, they've got the mark of Christ on them or something, which makes them evil. You know, you'd figure it would work the other way, but I guess if you draw it in blood, you kind of change those things. But yeah, you can see there's valuables in there, and we know that somewhere up the road is where the key went, so we can head over there and hopefully find the thing. There's actually a little marker on there, which makes things easier. And then there's a second message here, which is how he's obsessed with Bigfoot, which means that there's a chance we're going to find Bigfoot in this. And again, there's something cute about the little stories. It's funny because the things that make people want to play games are these big story elements, but the things that make me really love a game, as opposed to just like it and be entertained, are the small things in it. Like, I've told the story, I think, of Vault 70-something in Fallout before. It might be 80-something. But, one of the vaults in Fallout where they did the experiment, where every year they elected a president, and at first people thought it was a good thing, and then they realized that the president is actually killed every year. And so this went on until there was 3 people left where they all agreed to vote each other, or like they all agreed not to vote or something. And then because they kept having like factions, and the most hated person would be voted for president. So it looks weird when you're going in there because they're like, vote this guy we hate for president. And then it goes on for all these years until eventually. Also, a genuine Sasquatch call. It's from a cave in the nearby cliffs. So now we've got to follow it over there. See, this is a lot of work just to get inside that bunker, but it'll be worth it. We'll find a genuine Sasquatch if we're lucky. But and then after after some amount of years of this, where there's only 3 people left out of hundreds of people in the vault, they all decide not to vote, and then the system's like, good job, you did it, you worked out how to cooperate, and that's like so much worse than if they'd all died, right? And I know there's like that sounds tragic. That sounds like I'm enjoying the pain, and in a video game, I think it's fine too. I think there's a lot of terrible things that can happen to people that you'll never discuss and will hopefully never come up in your life. But I think having the fun moral dilemma inside a game is a good thing. Also, I think we've probably got to go over there, right? I imagine so. If not, we're going on some pathway somewhere. That's all that matters here. Okay, let's do this. This is scary, but can I make the distance? I'm hoping so. Let's go. Yes, we can. way too much, actually. But yeah, I like video games a lot because when they do the tiny, small stuff like that, because it's not, it's kind of like off the beaten track. It feels like you actually found something. Not many people know the story of that vault. Like, probably, hundreds or maybe thousands. But, out of the millions of people that played Fallout New Vegas, probably not, like, a small percentage-wise. And I don't know how, like, game developers, you probably can't justify as a developer spending any time on something like that. Oh, it's a little. Clever. But it's the sort of thing that makes me really like. I mean, in this situation, all these prepper stashes, most people won't bother doing this ridiculous parkour course, which I'm not even sure is necessary right now. But, there's a real... Oh, man, this is scary. How am I going to grapple over there? Oh, I can... Okay, there we go. Ooh. But, there's this entire ridiculous thing just to work out, like, what the deal with this Sasquatch is. But, the small flavor text and stuff, I think it's the niche stuff that people like, right? Like, I think I've mentioned something like this before. But, yeah, it's something I agree with. It's something I like. And it's something that, I like playing games just for moments like this. So we could grapple down and guarantee we won't die, or we could jump and just hope that that's not too big a fool. I'll take the safe route. Just because we're live, don't wanna mess up a live stream, which this totally is. Very real, 100% legit. Hope you're all enjoying it. Make sure you like. Looks like we've got 250 likes already. Can we hit 300, am I right? I don't know, but... oh, this is his body, so... That's his card. And there's no like explanation. There's no. Did he find Sasquatch eventually? Is this like cave right here where Sasquatch was? Did he find something? Did he just fall down and die? Wait, he was dragged by well, he was killed there and dragged. You know what, my theory is that there is a Sasquatch around here. So maybe if we go further along, we'll find it. One can dream, one can dream. But yeah, that was a fun little parkour adventure. I was hoping there'd be the fun story at the end of like, here's the Sasquatch location. But I guess I'll take this regardless. So let's go down. I'm bad at wingsuiting, so we're gonna try and spend the minimum time possible in it. Oh! I just said I was bad at wingsuiting, and I was like, oh, I'm really good at this. I can push the boundaries. And you know what? I learned just then that I can't. So like in the Far Cry Let's Play, many a death, one death per episode. It's again, we're matching the Toycat Let's Plays channel to give you the true trailer experience, because this is self-promo. Oh, that was actually a faster way of doing this. I love it when there's like benefits to dying in games. Like there's a lot of games I speedrun by deliberately like rushing and dying. It's just like it's easier than having to go back somewhere, and also a bunch of money. Which again, because I'm at the stage of the game where I've actually completed it in this run, so there won't be any story missions done today. No spoilers, nothing like that. It's too late to say no spoilers. Like, if you've accepted there will be spoilers, or you're scared there's no spoilers, so you're not watching. But if you haven't already realized or accepted that, then good news, it's true regardless. I guess the only spoiler is like you work out what guns I get later on in the game, because I think this is like my late game gun selection, my rocket launcher and my AK. But assuming that doesn't, I don't think that counts as a spoiler, right? But yeah, it's just going to be mostly doing my little trip around the world. So I need to get back up to somewhere with a vehicle. As you can see, my vehicle is still there, but the closest way I can get to it is like here. So I guess let's go to Hawkeye Tunnel. Let's take a bit of a journey. Let's do this. But yeah, so the long story short is I think games are interesting when they do these little niche things, and I don't know why it's like something I just really will always enjoy doing. I think finding the weird small parts of games, and for a long time actually a part of my channel like successful was based on that, like, you know, the weird things you didn't know about, insert item here, was just because I have this passion for finding weird things you can do with fireworks or beacons. And I guess that's something I'll probably do in the nearest future with like the current updates. Like there's a conduit coming out, there's these treasure maps and weird glitches that most people haven't spotted. I know, so there's something nice about finding small things in video games and then sharing them with a wider audience. Oh, that's a turn sign. But yeah, there's something nice about it that I'll always appreciate, and I'll always hopefully be able to do, such as games like this, like just going on these journeys, finding these small things that aren't widely done. It's nice, and it's the thing I do. But also, going on road tripping games, this is something I used to always do. Actually, it goes back to when I used to play games with my brother. Oh, this isn't my vehicle, but whatever, it's a vehicle. But it was a thing I used to do with my brother, where like we played GTA, like as like 7-year-olds. But the thing that we do is we just drive around and see how long we could get away without committing a crime. And it's kind of the same thing in this game. Like now I've saved the region, so I can head on people and it's not a crime. Oh my god, what the? Is that how vehicles work? Anyway, but but you know, I can do that without being a crime because again, I'm good like that. I've saved them, so it's fine for me to commit a traffic felony or two. Is it called a felony in America? I think it's a felony if you commit a traffic violation, right? But a traffic crime, let's say, I think it's fine for me to commit 1 or 2 of those because you know, I saved the region, and apparently the people agree. So there's no risk in me going on the thing, but it was just a really fun way of, you know, that I did things like GTA. So it's the same thing with a game like this. Like you gotta go the path less traveled, and a lot of games won't reward you for that, but the good ones will reward you, and they hopefully reward you quite well, as I'm hoping this game will. But also, the game keeps showing me base jumps, and I'm not sure what that even is. So I think we should do it. Like, it looks like there's a path up the mountains there, like a really weird path. But I think we should take it. I think we should make that our adventure, because it seems kind of fun. Like, you know, it looks like I used the wingsuit. Maybe I'll get better at it. Maybe I won't. That's something we'll learn along the journey, I guess. So we're gonna go all the way forwards, and then we're gonna take a left. It feels like I should go this way. Oh, you know, actually, that looks fine enough. So yeah, we'll just take a left. I know it doesn't mean here, but I'm just gonna go up the mountain, see where it takes me, you know. Go on a good old journey. Yeah, going up hills like this in cars always makes me uncomfortable, if I'm being honest with you. It's not something I'm a fan of. Because like, so I like, one of my small things I like is like little mountain town villages, ski places. And one of the things you've got to accept for that is like, oh yeah, You're going to go into the mountains, there's going to be some windy roads, and it's going to look like you're going to die. And you're not, maybe you are going to die. That's just, it's a thing you accept when you go into these places. But, yeah, because of that, it's like, it's just something I have to accept. It's terrifying, but it is a thing. And, but it always still makes me uncomfortable when, like, a bus is going around a huge bend, and it's like, there's this tiny metal strip preventing it from going over the edge. I'm not sure that can withstand the weight of the bus. And, I mean, realistically, the chance of anything happening is low. It's just seeing that something bad could happen, like being able to visually see it, I think is, like, bad for the brain. Like, maybe I'm wrong on that, but any situation where you can see that something bad's going to happen, I think affects your chance of that bad thing happening. Like, I've heard this, a lot of people who do really well in certain sports and stuff will describe that the only reason that they do so well is they don't even see failure as a possibility. They're so sure they're going to win, and they focus all their efforts on winning. They don't even understand how something would look like it's losing. So if they start to do badly, they won't lose morale, they won't lose their strength to fight or whatever. Because they'll be like, oh, this is just a part of the win, you know? Like, oh, this is his first this or that. And I think that's a really, like, I think that's a really good attitude to live life by. But it's also a really tricky one, right? Because we have trained into us that, like, guess what? When you jump off a cliff, like I'm apparently about to, in exchange for some reward, if you... sorry about my throat. It's a live stream, but so I can't fix that, sadly. But if you could train yourself to these reflexes exist for a reason. They kept us safe for all these years. But in the modern world, it's better not to have them. So being able to untrain yourself away from, like, oh yeah, gotta be scared of death, is a good thing apparently. So this is a base jump. I don't entirely understand what I do. Like, do I just go down? Follow? It's not very clear, is it? It kind of signifies maybe down this way. Oh wait, I'll follow the windsock. So the windsock is pointing... Wait, the traffic cone, windsock, is pointing that way, right? Because no, wait, the windsock is pointing this way. So we jump down this side, and if we do, there is some reward. I could be misunderstanding how this works, but there's a prepper stash over there. Worst case scenario, we get to it. Maybe that's the whole point of the base jump, to lead you towards a thing like this. You know, I'll take that as the fact, rather than a fiction. Let's pretend it's a real fact. So another prepper stash. Again, dude who's prepared for the apocalypse. Got a bunch of stuff. And he's gonna, you know, go track down the guy. So we have to go find him. Because when he went to go track down the guy, he left his key. Or sometimes there's like little, you know, things you can do otherwise. But in this case, I'm assuming that's what's going on. So you can see there's valuable stuff inside there. I shouldn't be able to see, but I can. And you can see how there's a door with a lock required. And there's also a little note. That's the same one I just read. But you can see how there's maybe a way in from the top. There's often like a second way in. These sorts of things, like, oh, take the basement. But I think in this case I'm going to have to go follow this pathway until I find the body, presumably with a key. Because, you know, if he hasn't come back, then he either dropped the key or he died and therefore dropped the key. Like, there aren't many other ways to see this one. Which is really quite tragic when you think about it. But I mean, on the other hand, like, you know, gotta get some loot somehow. Okay, it's back this way. Oh no, that's just a generic thing. So yeah, somewhere in this little foresty place, it seems like... Oh, there we go. There's some blood. And it's going that way? Or is it going this way? I don't understand how blood trails work. I'll be honest, I haven't ever killed a man. Like, I think it would be interesting to do it, you know? Like, you know how, like, there's just this assumed... Oh, I think it must be going this way. Yeah, he was dragged. That's how blood trails work. I think, like, there's this assumed guilt when you kill someone. Like, as a society, we're, like, fairly certain that if you kill someone, you feel extra bad. And, like, you know, like, it haunts you forever. I wonder how many people kill someone, and then they just, like, move on with their life. Like, oh, yeah, that was Wednesday. That was a pretty exciting day, actually. Almost got caught by the police. It was crazy. Because there's also the part of culture where, like, it's just accepted that if you have, like, a best friend or, like, a close friend, and if they call you up and, like, you know, need help disposing of the body, you help them out, you know? Help a best friend dispose of the body. But it's like, how often does that happen? Probably not often, right? There aren't that many murders in the world. But, you know, I'm just saying, I'm not ever going to kill someone. But I'd love to, like, see inside of a murder. Like, you know, if I could, like, share the brain of a murderer, or, like, borrow the memory someone who really killed someone. I'd be interested, like, is it traumatic, or does your brain take over, or is it, like, extra terrible? Because I have to imagine, like, as humans, we're not probably programmed for that, right? Anyway, I think if you say too much of this stuff, you get put aside at security for the rest of your life. So I'm gonna be careful. But no, it'd be interesting, I think, at the very least. But that's why games make me curious, because in games you're taught to do the opposite, right? Like, you know, in real life, whenever you talk about a real murder, it's like, man, that's a thing you think about all the time. In a game like we're playing right now, fun fact: Far Cry 5 video game, available now. Also available on the IBX Toycat Let's Plays channel. Gotta get that plug-in. But you know, it's a game where you murder people, you know, effectively. You kill people, and you don't really feel bad about it. Even in, like, you know, Minecraft, you kill animals. There's no guilt for that. I think I'd feel bad if I killed a cow. Like, I think I'd be like, man, that cow was alive, and now it's not. Even though over your lifetime you indirectly kill a lot of things, like having to directly do something like that, I think it would get to you. I think it would be, maybe again, a lot of people go hunting, so maybe not. But it's the sort of thing where I do wonder. I'm not going to sabotage this vehicle. I have learned that lesson. But yeah, it is definitely the sort of thing that makes you wonder at least a little bit. Oh man, I'm gonna have to fly down this mountain. I think it's just easier than the alternative. Let's do it. Again, wingsuiting is fun in this game. So but yeah, I think in games you're like just taught to do it like it's nothing, and that's like the mechanic in a lot of games. Like, oh, it's the murder simulator, and I think there's something good about the divergence between the reality of the situation and what you think the reality is in something like this. Oh, that man's been killed by a bear. Do I have to feel bad passively because I didn't save him, knowing he was an enemy? Also, I just got skunked. Literally the worst thing. Oh, there's a sinner wanted. I should go look for them. Head over there. But yeah, there's a lot of big questions in games, because, you know, everyone always, a lot of, like, ridiculous games media has the thing of, like, these games are murder simulators. They teach your kids how to murder. And we obviously all know, like, well, I mean, if you kill people in a game, you don't kill people in real life. I have killed hundreds of people in games, and I have yet to kill a single person in real life. And if I was going to kill someone, I wouldn't be talking like, you know, I think I might kill someone next week, and then in, like, next week's Let's Play. So I killed someone in this past week, and it was pretty crazy, actually. That would be funny, though, right? Like, if that's how someone gets caught, because they're, like, daily vlogging their murder thing, and they're like, got into a fight with this guy, gotta hide the body, good thing he doesn't have any dependents. This stream got dark, didn't it? We should go back to happier subjects. Or, like, less, you know, let's say happier subjects. Like, obviously, murder is an unhappy place to be. But you know what is a happy place to be? New Zealand. I'm not going to mention where I am too often. Because I realized, so I mentioned this in my Flexin' About Flexin' video from last Monday. Earlier this week. Whatever, recently. And one of the things is that it's a lot, like, there's a lot of things in life people talk about. And I think the things people talk most about are the things they're excited for and they think they've done well. So, like, you know, if you get a promotion at work, you're going to tell everyone about that. You're going to be like, yeah. Or, like, if you do something like a holiday or a trip somewhere that you think is cool, you tell people a bunch about that. But I think the real special thing about communication, the internet, whatever you want to say, is when you instead talk about you know, the stuff that isn't widely spoken about, and you know, like, what, like, you know, you see these very weird stories online of, like, that is a friendly. He's digging a grave, it looks like, but, like, apparently not all the time you're digging graves, it's bad. Today I learned. We could go off to help him, maybe, or we could explode that barrel. Oh, well. Now someone's gonna have to dig 2 graves, and that's just gonna be a nightmare. I feel bad. I have doubled someone's workload, and this is not cool of me. This is a real issue in my mind. But yeah, I don't know, like, what makes a good game and a bad game is a really interesting discussion because of how hard it is to really define. But the thing I always like is, like, a game with good gameplay to lure you in, and then little fun niche things for you to do. Like drive a truck around. Oh, I've got to turn off the radio, or I get copy striked on YouTube, as they call it these days. go look at that. Oh, by the way, you gotta look at the signs if you want to know where you find certain animals. Like, there's some salmon to be found over there. You know, we should go fishing, actually. I've decided we'll go do whatever mission this is over here, and then we'll go fishing. Because that sounds like a fun thing to do. Because one of the parts of this game that I still have yet to, like, fully explore is fishing. There's, like, a perk for it and everything. Oh, let's go this way. Apparently it's faster. Oh, there's a rainbow trout location here. I guess because it's a stream. Is this the rainbow trout location? No, the rainbow trout. Oh, yeah, rainbow trout's over here. So, given that there's a nice little bridge, let's go fishing. Again, it's the small stuff that makes things special. So yeah, you're about to watch a fishing stream on the internet, but again, it's a live stream, so it's okay to do weird, confusing things. Because the chat, you know, Mr. Timmy Tammy Tommy 65, he's really, really excited about this. He says in the chat, he says this is epic, lol. And actually, you know, I think I actually can set it up so like a donation thing will come up on stream, make it look extra believable. But yeah, he actually sends in a $3 super chat and says, yeah, I want to see them fish. Side note, should we use this as an opportunity to talk about the whole super chat thing? Because I do think it's an interesting thing, and it's also one you could probably never talk about live, because people assume you're doing it to try and get on-the-spot donations, right? Like, if I say, I love people who super chat, especially if it's between the value of $10 to $15, then it's, you know, clearly, or it seems at least, whether it is true or not, like it's a attempt to, also, you know, there's a perk to make this easier. I'm going to quickly go turn that on, because that's what all these perk points I'm getting are like. Guess what? Fish a bit quicker. Why not? I think that would help. Less animal attacks. Yes, please. And then also, you know, do more bullets, do more damage to vehicles. Why not? There we go. So anyway, let's get back to our thing, because I just got a trout bugger, whatever that means. And we're just gonna sit here. And there we go. There we go. We got a pose the fish moment. Oh, I did that wrong. I misunderstood what a pose fish movement means. Oh, there's the fish. You can physically see them like jump out the water. So we gotta pose it, which means, oh no, okay, it's, you know, maybe these are just tricky fish to catch. Let's blame that. Let's blame the trickiness of the fish. But yeah, I think I think the thing about donations, super chats, etc., is they're really, really a cool way for like a combination of like supporting a streamer, allowing streams to happen more. Because obviously, you know, streams make very little in ad revenue. They make very little on the video afterwards. There's all these like downsides to doing them, but having people support that allows it to be an actually profitable endeavor. There are a lot of people who switched from making videos to making streams full time because they were just like, well, this is, you know, like I can't make videos anymore, but I can stream and hope that people will tip enough. Because I think tip is a better term than donation anyway. But you know, so like I think tipping is great on that end, but it's also great on the end of like the person who does the tipping. It's not just this pure act of generosity, which, you know, I think relying on other people's just pure generosity all the time is either a great thing to do or it's like a questionable thing to do. Like, I mean, isn't necessarily going to go well all the time, right? But and it's also not a good business model. You can't just assume that everyone will keep giving you things for free, because I mean, generally, not a lot of people do that. So I think the whole other side of it, where it's like, oh yeah, and then you can get recognition, you can know you're helping, and also in a lot of cases you can get like exclusive emojis if you sponsor or something like that. I think there's this really cool dynamic thing where you can use just a few dollars and get like a real impact on a thing that you enjoy, and especially if it's on YouTube, because on Twitch I oppose Twitch in a lot of ways, but the cool thing about YouTube is there's like a permanent record of like, you know, you can go back to that, you can be like, yeah, I did this. And you know, like in one case someone got a dog named after him, his name was Landstar, recent stream for instance, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the sort of thing, you know, that like, because, you know, if you just ask for something outright, like, hey, name me dog after me, there's a billion people asking that. But if you got like a specific request, and it's really kind of weird, donation's a good way to say like, look, I'm serious about this, I'm not just trying to mess around with you or whatever. And yeah, that's what I feel about the whole tipping thing. I call them donations just out of like force. Also, I'm really bad at fishing, right? Like maybe I'm, oh, there we go, there's a fish. So let's go get the, yeah, you know, the fishes are, oh wait, he's over here now. Okay, so there's definitely fish over there. So one's gonna get hooked on the line any minute now. I do not understand this game in the slightest. So if I wait here by the bridge, no, this just isn't doing it. This just isn't doing it. But yeah, so there is a fishing spot here. I think it must be a hard one, or I must have forgotten all my fishing skills. Because despite seeing lots of fish around here and having my fishing rod in the water, it's just not quite working, right? Maybe I've got to stand still to stop the fishing line moving. Because if I move too much, because whenever I play games, let's address this actually. Whenever I play games, I've got this like instinctive twitching because I always have to be interacting with the. I think that's a fish going towards it right now, but I always have to be interacting with the control in some way. It's like a fidgety thing. But it's just like, you know, that's how you. Yeah, that's a thing I do that's usually negative. There's a lot of positive circumstances for it, but I think it does lead to like sometimes questionable video stuff, which is why I like the live streams. Because over now, you know, I can spend a minute doing this and realize that it's not leading anywhere. See, I don't want to quit now, because if I quit now, then I have to accept that, like, oh, that time I spent, I came out of nothing. So I want to get one fish, because even if it takes like 10 more minutes, then at least the time, you know, it's the sunk cost fallacy, which is a real problem for the record, like, pro tip. Just because you spent time on something, it doesn't mean all money on something. You don't need to spend more time or money on it, just to break even or whatever you might think. So we're really in the line a little bit, get a tiny bit closer. I guess probably even more than that. There we go, that's about right. There is fish, oh there we go, oh! So now we got to oppose the fish movement, which is this way I think. And we got to stop this going too red. And at the same time we got to reel the line. Like this, there we go, see, this is easy. Hey, rainbow trout! Look at that, look at that! And the cool thing about Far Cry is there actually is like a real fishing. There's a subsection of people who only fish. There's a bunch of achievements just for like the high-end fishing in this game. There's like a whole fishing side quest where you can get the best fishing rod, etc. And I've always thought that's cool. Again, it goes back to the thing where it's like, most players, I got a challenge complete. I just got perk points, which I can use in the rest of the game. Like I can upgrade my machine guns now. Like look, I can go decide that I want more faster machine gun reloads or sniper rifle reloads. And I can use that from my fish perk point. Which is wonderful, right? I think I spent 4 perk points on getting better at fishing, so it's still a free net loss. But there's a lot of challenges from it, which will help you in the game. And I like when a game not only has it there, but then rewards you. Besides just the cool stories of like, I went fishing, it was a thing. But it's even cooler when there's a little fun thing to it. So next up, we've got a little quest we'll do right here. This is a side quest. It won't matter to anything besides. Oh, he's gonna tell me to go look for some bobbleheads.
Took pretty much everything. I was lucky to get out with what little I did.
So how about this, pal?
The real issue here is they stole all my cheeseburger bobbleheads. Do you have any idea how valuable those things are? They're friggin' collector items now. I mean, these things are huge overseas. And they're so rare now, I could make a killing selling them online.
Is there an internet in a post-apocalyptic?
Get back online.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
If you're not sure what they look like, there's one over there on the table. It's the only one they left me. Bastards. Oh my God, you found some.
Oh yeah, I've been finding these the whole time. I didn't realize there was
Whatever you do, please find the others.
Didn't realize there was like a benefit to finding all of them. Okay, so now I know that there is in fact a side quest to finding these bobbleheads. I was just like randomly finding them all over the place. Apparently it's a side quest. We could do one of these actually. You know, should I find all these little bobbleheads? Because he seemed excited. He's honest with me. Like I like a beautiful honesty. Because even if you know it's going to decrease your chances, especially I think, like he's just like, you know what? I'd really like it if you did this. So if I check my map, it doesn't actually tell you where they all are. I guess that would ruin some of the point of exploration. Also, this entire road I just visited isn't, like, unblacked out on my map yet. I'm not sure why. Maybe I did it wrong. But, yes, we're going to go find some bobbleheads. I realize there's no way to do that, though. So, back to the road trip, I guess? Back to the road trip, I reckon. It is pretty cool to see what the reason for it is. But given that there's a $900 reward, and that seems like about it, probably isn't actually too smart. There's a lot better things that I need to spend $900 great dollars on. So I should probably do that instead. So let's go get this sports car. Go on more for a road trip around the place. And just do the little tiny things that I know I need to be doing. Because there is still a ton of those. Like again, I've completed the game as of recording this. But there's like a bunch of side quests and achievements and just fun mini things that I know I should be doing. So as always, best solution is a rocket launcher. Solves like 5 problems at once. And I think yep, we can still explode his backpack too. It's just common sense, really. Doing stuff like that. And then there's still a sports car around here somewhere. I'm not sure where. I think that might be the sports car. You know, I want it anyway. I'm gonna shoot the tire. That doesn't work. You know, I try my best. This is gonna have to be the best thing we get today. It looks a little bit like a sports car, but it's gonna do for the rest of our road trip while we stream. Again, answering your very real questions from the chat, like this one from Pink Panda 78, who says, "IBX Toycat, please tell us about the very deep indifference that you have towards, you know, bad video games." I'm just kidding, but yeah, no, I think when it comes to chat questions as well, I think there's also like a mutual beneficial thing in like asking interesting questions, because if you're just there like spamming things for the purpose of being answered, one, you're less like, I'm not going to answer a question that's like, "Hey Toycat, when are you playing like hide and seek again? Remember that thing you did 5 years ago and instantly regretted? How's that going down for you?" And it's like, oh god. Whereas, actually, you know, that might be a good question, because off the fact that it's a whole thing. But I think that there's a lot of like questions that are like clearly like this. I don't think you would find this answer interesting, let alone anyone who's not you. And I guess it goes back to the same thing. Like, the truth is like any live stream is only as good as, I guess, the people contributing towards it, both in terms of you know, donation stuff, but also just in terms of regular chat. Like, the number one thing if you want to support, oh gosh, no, oh god, the number one things in terms of like supporting a smaller streamer, if you have any, or you are one maybe, is getting a good healthy chat going, you know, getting somewhere where people can join, be a part of something. And that's the best, I think, non-financial way to help any streamer, any person. Because again, I like, you know, I said earlier, like, oh yeah, sending in a $3 tip is great. But I think the truth is like, you know, if you throw in like some amount of time into this or making a community or whatever, I think that's just as good. But yeah, there is an achievement in this game, if I'm not mistaken, that it's like spend a certain amount on vehicles, and I think I could probably do that. So let's just, you know, I want to buy all these vehicles anyway. Let's pick up the bump and grind, and then let's customize it. Oh, we can't. As well as like, you know, let's just buy all the vehicles. I like being in that stage of a game where you can actually afford like everything if you want to. Like, you know, I think I'm at that stage now where I can just decide I'm gonna buy every vehicle, even these terrible ones. Like, would I ever use any of these? Probably not. I think I was just in this vehicle. Not a great looking one. But the fact that I'll never have to spend money to use them again, it's gonna be a nice feeling, I feel like. Definitely worth spending all the in-game money on. Especially all these quad bikes, which are functionally all the same, but are totally different, trust me. They're just different, they are. Oh, this one actually looks pretty cool. I might drive this one after we buy one more vehicle. This Zugspitz Scavenger. So yeah, let's go back actually. Let's drive the hot quad. This sounds like fun. Maybe it's faster in some way, because it does have flames on it somewhere. Because as we all know, painting something red does make it go faster. Which is a fun fact. Like, I know not many people play tabletop games. Probably not, especially anymore. But the orcs in Warhammer 40k, if you paint their vehicles red, like again, this is a tabletop, you know, collectible figures or whatever. But if you paint their vehicles red, they like go an extra like 2 inches in a turn or something in exchange for like overheating the engines. And the logic was that the orcs believe it would go faster, so it did. And it's just like I've always liked that personally. I've always thought that's a beautiful little thing. So we can go left or we can go right. We're going to check the map as always, because I just want to go to places I haven't been yet. And it looks like we've been right, but we didn't find anything. Even though there's a place to be found, and there's like little tiny things around the place. See, there's a hard rainbow trout and a mustard. Like what? Why do I care about mustard? Why does the game assume that? Actually, you know, all these little things, they might be. Like, the game might tell me about every single, like, bobblehead and mustard and lighter that I find. So, you know, let's go around. Let's go find these lighters, because that's another little fun thing. And I've intended to do it for a while now, so let's do it now. With my quad bike, which for the record sucks. It's exactly the same speed as the regular one. It's just painted red. But, so yeah, to go on our little road trip and to talk some more real stuff, I was considering this morning, because, you know, this morning is very recently. It is this morning, not anymore. Actually, sorry, it's 8 PM on Tuesday. Welcome to the live stream. I live stream every Tuesday and Thursday, like this one right here. But So, but to go back to what I was saying, yeah, I actually, this morning, I spent a bit of time on my sofa each morning, kind of like relaxing myself out, taking advantage of the fact that, like, because I work myself in some way, I can hopefully try and de-stress myself, because I think that's important as a YouTuber. Maybe it is. Maybe it's good. So I was considering, like, I have this sofa right here, and I have like friends sleep on the sofa, but because I never sleep on my sofa, I'm not sure how good an experience it is, and I'm sure if I did, I could like improve it. So I was considering, like, I think I might start sleeping on my sofa a bit, just to like understand what would make it more comfortable. And maybe that's a crazy thing to do. Maybe it's a perfect normal thing to do, but it is something that I've at least been considering. Also, I'm using auto drive, so I don't even have to like move my controller besides going left and right. It's a nice thing besides the fact that it's going terribly slow and braking like I'm a real human or something. What I prefer to do whenever I have like a place to go, you Skyrim it, you go off-road, you make horrible mistakes, and you accept that that's what's going to happen. It's just the way the world goes. But oh man, oh yeah, this is rough. Oh, this is very rough. But hello there, friends. I hear you guys have a lighter that I'm kind of interested in, down underground somewhere. This is probably the secret bunker. Yep, yes it is. But oh man, it's dark in here. Oh, or is it? I guess it is. Oh no, it's still light down here. All of the bunkers in this game look exactly the same, by the way. So there's strange business going on in Holland Family. Fun fact. But also, most importantly, there's a lighter here, which is 7 of 12. Okay, there's a lot of these lighters I've got to go and collect, apparently. Let's do another one today. Let's go from lighter to lighter while we talk about life, the universe, and sorry, that's Q&A Saturday. Again, you're all confused right now. I'm sorry. Easy mistake to make, right? So, I don't know how we do even, like, find which one of these are lighters without zooming in on them too hard. So that's Jimson Weed. Is this a lighter? I guess the lighters are probably, like, maybe I've got to walk past them. No, it looks like they're all marked in some way. So to get this one, we'll just teleport over there. And we'll just keep doing this bit by bit. Just to get them done so we can see what, like, doing a collectible's like. Because I never do collectibles in games. Today we're talking about games. That's my subject. It's very rare that we talk about video games while playing video games. But I'll do that today. I think collectibles are something that are so dull in every game usually. Because the rewards can't be great, or you'd feel like you'd have to do them. And if the rewards were good, the rewards would be even worse. The doing of it would be even more terribly tragic, etc. Just because you'd have to. Also, there's a helicopter. Let's take that instead. That seems like a more fun journey. So yeah, because of that, like, it always has to be a minor thing. And then also, if it's like too obvious, then the people who want to collect stuff will feel like it's not reward enough. So they have to make it vague with some way, like, a purchasable map or something for the lighters, or whatever the collectible is. And it's always just seemed like, this is a lot of... I don't know why every game needs to have them, but I always feel like upset that I'll never get them, because I'll never spend the time required, usually, to get, something like this done. But today, we're going to make our first step. We're going to see if the reward is gratifying, and if it is, we'll do this more. Because there's this funny thing with time and video games, I guess, where when you're young, you have all the time, and you wish you had, like, money to buy more games or whatever, and, like, you can dump 100 hours into the games that you have. And then when you're older, there's thousands of games now, deciding which ones are worth which time, and which, by the way, the time is limited overall, even if you play video games for a job. It's a funny kind of, like, contrast to how things are usually. Also, that's how you can blow up safes. Fun fact. Get me some $250. Totally worth blowing an explosive on, by the way. But, yeah, I find it's interesting the kind of, like, divide that happens there. And I guess maybe that's what some of this is for. Like, oh yeah, if you make some stuff that just takes a bunch of time. Because as a child, I did a bunch of, like, weird little long-term quests. Just because, like, why not, right? Also, Perk Magazine. How nice. This bathtub is... Whatever went on here, I don't think it's a good thing. I think, oh, there's a bunch of toilet paper. That's the thing about an apocalypse you don't realize. Like, you're eventually going to run out of toilet paper. It's going to suck. It's going to suck bad. It's not a big thing. It's not a key thing. But it is a pretty important thing, I'd say. So all of these people died with Vietnam lighters. At least they assume they're dead. Like, There's got to be one guy who's alive and who's just like, oh, go take this off me when I die. Like, he's got to do some terrible death stuff. I'm just saying, if you're collecting, like, stuff from people you just assume to be dead, at one point you're going to make a mistake. And it's going to be, I would say, slightly awkward. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Or maybe I'm right in that. I guess we don't know for sure. All we know is that... Actually, I think it doesn't tell you where the light is. I must just have a few of them. Or maybe they're just in different regions, because if that was a comic book just there. So I guess I've got to, like, fly over to, like, over here somewhere, and it's like, oh, there's a fun little... Actually, wait, Clutch Nixons. These are really, really fun. Before we end today's live stream, as a little preview of, like, what's in Far Cry 5, I know a lot of you won't have played it. I'd recommend it, by the way, in case you feel like you want my opinion. But, so I'm going to buy a vehicle here, and then drive up to here. We'll do a Clutch Nixon for the end, just for a bit of fun. But one of the fun things about this game, at least for me, maybe it's not fun to watch. I don't know for sure. I'm just an internet cat. I can't answer your question, TimmyTammy67, as to whether you should buy this game. But I will say, I have a lot of fun with every Far Cry game. I think every Ubisoft open world game, it's got someone in there for everyone. It's like the polished version of their own game. Whether that's something you like or not really comes down to personal preference or whatever. Anyway, so this is a little garage I took earlier. Forgot to loot the cash machine. Left $39 out there on the table. That's a big old mistake right there. And let's go to my vehicle, because there's a vehicle point here. And let me buy you one of my nicer vehicles. Like a faster one, a better one, just something that doesn't suck. So, as you can see, I've got the... Actually, I can't afford the Comet R now. I've got the Kimberlite though. And realistically, we'll just go all the way down here. See what the most expensive one I have is, Uncle Sam. Actually, Bump and Grind. Let's give it a try. It's a 2009 Kimberlite Dara DSL. Don't know if that's a real car or not. That's the funny thing about games. Like, some games actually use real car names. A lot of games don't. And a lot of them are, like, clearly, like, plays off the real name. Same with video games and guns, actually. But, like, because I don't know the real car names, like, they might as well be real. Like, the Carolite might as well be a real sports car type, right? I wouldn't know any better. See, cars are one of these things where, when I was in school, people made you feel like you had to know them. Like, they'd be, like, when I was, like, 12, people would be discussing different types of car and, like, you know, like, how good or bad they were or whatever. And they were clearly just emulating discussions that, like, their 16-year-old brothers were having or, like, whatever. But it's funny how you do that kind of, like, instinctively, right? Like, you take a talking point that you've heard from somewhere or someone you think is cool, and you're like, I'm going to talk about this too, because I'm an adult like them, and I'll talk about their real serious adult subjects. And it's funny because there's a certain age where that stops happening. I don't know, it's probably somewhere in your 20s. Maybe I just listen to things 30-year-olds say, and I start to say that back to people. I'm not entirely sure. I know that I do, the only, like, 30-plus-year-olds in my life, I talk about, like, the things that they would know that I wouldn't know, like, oh yeah, so how is it having all of your life being ruled by this baby that you recently had? You know, that's the sort of things I usually ask to 30-plus-year-olds in my life. But, oh, there's something over there. Happy coincidence. But, basically, you know, like, it's funny how, like, you instinctively do that, but I think the pro tip is, well, from my life at least, or my experiences, is never assume you have to know about anything, just because people make it seem like you do. Oh, there's people here. Guess we gotta shoot them. It's all good. So yeah, these are trucks. If you press a little switch on the side, some treasure comes from within, and it's a fun little side thing you can do an infinite amount of. In this case, it comes with just an M60. Basically, no point in doing it. Oh, you can shut yourself in it. Don't know why you'd want to, but it's a cool option, if nothing else. Oh, you could probably pick up... Wait, if there's a truck near, I bet you could, like, pick that up and do it here. So, yeah, there's a proper stash here, which even though I said I'd do that... You know, extra long live stream today. We're extending it. I had made a spur-of-the-moment decision that we're going to go for the full live stream length, the full hour that you expect from your boy, the live streamer Toycat. So, back in the day, this place was a radon health mine. Look it up online. I'm going to do that right now, actually. You know what, game? Because this is live, I can do that. So, radon health mine. So it's a real thing, but most people are Googling it because of Far Cry 5. And it's like, okay, basically, it's not too big a deal. So, anyway, now the cult's hiding some of the shit in it. If it was a braver, I'd raid it for supplies. If you want to go to that creepy old place, then the power should still be working if you can find a switch or a generator inside. Easy. So let's do this. I mean, it should be pretty simple. Go inside. Okay, there's a bunch of drugs in here. And then power required. So I've got to go turn on the power. Assuming I don't go crazy high. These things, pro tip, you just explode them. That's how they explode. Actually, I think you can whack them with a physical thing too. We probably should be doing that instead of using explosives up. Oh. Actually, let's use dynamite. That's my favorite explosive for the day. So just gonna run through here, find the power. It's a scary place seeing that shadow. Like, I guess, you know, if you're high on drugs, you're gonna make mistakes from time to time. Is there anything in here? It's just, okay, it's just a weird door room. Oh, it looks like you do need explosives. Good thing I have dynamite. Actually, this is probably not a good idea in an enclosed minefield of gas. But again, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Especially if you, oh god. So yeah, one of the key things in this game, if you watch the Let's Play on IBX Toycat Let's Plays, plug, is that you know, there's like this faith gas that makes everyone like super zoned out and likely to join the cult. Basically, again, I'm simplifying a great deal, and I'm gonna argue that I'm doing it because of spoilers. So I'm simplifying to avoid spoiling it again because I'm delightful like that. Would never spoil anything. And I'm just being so considerate, and I'm totally not just having a mess up where I don't quite understand it fully, because it has lots of different reactions. It is definitely that I am avoiding spoilers, because I'm great. So now we've turned on the power. We can rush all the way back through what I just did. I'm hoping I don't actually have to do that, but I think I might. Yeah, it looks like I do. Faith's experiments made her captives mindless drones who respond to her will. So yeah, because of the drugs, they're just crazy, weird dudes, and I have to go back through the mine, but fight them this time. But I don't really want to do that. I think that I won't be fighting them actually. So instead of dealing with that, I'm gonna just slowly climb up here. The game really doesn't want me to, but I got this. Let's just run through with our shotgun of choice, and let's do this. So just, there's gonna be more of them. You know there will. You know, it's looking a lot Skyrim-y. So there's gonna be like the equivalent of a Dwight. A Dwight? I think, what is it called? I think it's a Dwight. No, that's the guy from The Office. Is it, a White, not a Dwight, that's what it is. I got the right word, I just added man from The Office to the end of it. Which is fine. Oh, a lot of people say I look like Rain Wilson, actually. Like, there's a bunch of celebrities people say I look like. There's that guy from MCR, I want to say. Could be getting the band wrong. There's the guy from Stranger Things. And it's funny because like they're different levels of like complimentary, right? I know it's not until you hear people consistently compare you to someone that you know is objectively terrible looking, I'll say, that you're like, well, guess I've now had it confirmed. Because no one will ever say that, you know, like honestly to you. Like, wow, man, you're like a 4 out of 10 at best or something. But when you hear it like that, you start to understand a bit more. I think it's a good thing to understand. Like, you know, no one will ever tell you because it's like they'll assume that it's just like a pure negative thing and you'll call them a hater or whatever. But I think it is a good thing to hear, even if you don't want to. Or maybe it's a terrible thing to hear. Maybe that's the reason I spend my days making videos and talking about how I want to sleep on my sofa. Who knows for sure? It's just a thing that I think about. So anyway, we're gonna go get the Clock Nixon done now and call it a day, because this is like a fun little, like every time I do a Clock Nixon, I have fun with it. So let's do this one right here, because we'll get some points, I think. Some more point. And we'll also, hopefully, I really should have not gone by it. See, look, I could save this guy, but I'm just not. Is that like murder by accident? I know there are some countries where if you don't save someone from drowning, it's murder, but like by proxy or something. And I've never liked that personally. I don't know why. Like I would hope that I would save someone, but I'd like to have the option not to. Like if someone's drowning, I can't save them. I can't even save myself if I'm drowning. Or if I like, you know, I jump in the water and then immediately be like, well, I'm drowning too now. I've created double the problem. And I'm sure that would hold up in court, whatever. But the fact that I'd have to go through a potential like court battle of like, oh yeah, I literally couldn't save him. It's like, you know, we should probably have people be good, you know, because it's the right thing to do, not because it's bad. Or maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, let's go do a Clutch Nixon. These are usually just crazy stunts. Like you can see how beautifully American they are.
March 20th, 1961. Faced with a realization that God was surely dead, and modern civilization nothing more than a tragic farce, Clutch Nixon, the greatest stuntman in Hope County, did the only sane thing he could think of. He strapped himself into a rickety buggy and careened down a rocky mountainside before crash landing in the abandoned town of Prosperity.
That sounds fun to me. Let's do it. So yeah, we have to do like some crazy stunt. It's basically like race through some checkpoints using various stunt vehicles. And it's like a fun break from the potential seriousness of the rest of the game. Again, I like doing the side random stuff in games like this. And Clutch Nixons just fill that spot perfectly. I recently actually played, oh my gosh! Okay, so we gotta go like really down a hill. There's like no control of this thing. And you can hear the music, it's just like, I know it's, I think it gets better by the way. But yeah, so long story short, I like the weird things in games. Also, I like game music a lot. I think that weirds some people out sometimes. Oh, we gotta like go sideways along this. Oh man, that's actually quite cool. But yeah, I think one of the cool things about games is they allow you to do a lot of things you'd never do in real life. But I still don't know for sure why it is that you'd want to do something in a game, but you'd never do it in real life. Besides, like, you're scared of doing it in real life, maybe. Again, it's hard to be certain. But I probably wouldn't ever do something like this in real life, because like, you can see the danger. If I go too far left, I'll hit a tree, I'll die. It's done for. Oh, gosh. But, you know, it's really, oh man. Easy to see that. Oh, we're gonna do another sideways stunt. I think it's the same sideways stunt, just backwards. It's still pretty cool that you can do that. I didn't realize the game physics would even allow it. But yeah, I think every game needs to sometimes take a break from taking itself too seriously, and just realize that, you know, we're a game, we're like this, and it's fun when you kill a bunch of mannequins. So yeah, you get resistance points. You make the region like safer when you do stuff like this, which makes no sense, but it's also beautiful. And it's just like a really fun break from whatever's going on in the game. Not that I need it, because today I went on a road trip, I fished, and I found some dead people's stashes. But still, it's fun regardless. I get some money. I get, again, a region liberated bonus. I get a new vehicle in my garage. There's nice little bonuses for it. And we also find Mannequin Town, which is like the weirdest place around. Like, what is this? Who set this up? I have deep concerns about your sanity. But yeah, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. Give it a like if you liked it. If you're not here live by some miraculous coincidence, because again, this was live. I don't know how you could assume otherwise. Then make sure you check out every single Tuesday and Thursday, 8 PM UK time on this channel. There are live streams like this one, not like this one. I'll be honest. You know, I have a confession. I haven't really live streamed this, but it is something I like to do from time to time. Just talk, play some games, give you a Toycat podcast style thing. Although this one's kind of like a let's play more than a podcast. But anyway, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video regardless. Hit that thumbs up, hit that bell, because if you made it this far on the video, then I hope that you enjoy more stuff like this. I really appreciate the people who can make it all the way through something like this. This is like a special few of you. So to the very, you know, like the dozens or hundreds, or it's a very small number of you that made it this far. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you want to see more stuff like this. Let me know in some way, whatever way I'm gonna die, that you think that is best. And yeah, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.